Hello, and welcome back to the Broken Stair, which we are going to climb on our way to the Temple of Tiamat. Well, the Broken Cathedral, or whatever it's called. I actually can't remember. It takes you through a fair number of different environments before you I did catch that bat. Totally meant to do that. And if you believe that, you will believe anything. Down here, there is a hidden Legion artifact. Another soldier one. Always worth picking up for the extra burst of souls. There's no need to save them. Don't get anything for holding on to them all. The achievement will unlock, because there is an achievement for getting all of the artifacts in the game. The achievement will unlock just from having found them. Down here, there's a Vulgrim. There's also a few enemies and a chest, if I remember correctly. Yes. One of the problems with there actually being a mini-map in the corner, and I won't complain about mini-maps very often because I actually quite like them in all games, is that it does show you that there's a secret through here. With another Wrath Shard. Not Wrath Shard, Lifestone Shard. Because the sooner that you can get extra life bars, the better. Especially on this difficulty, if you're going to play as badly as I have been. New Vulgrim location added. Alright.
Oh, don't forget over here.
Interesting that the Harvester and the Scythe are different. Harvester was a bonus item that you got with the original edition of the game, but for the Warmastered edition, it was a pre-order bonus if I remember correctly, or free DLC. They actually baked it into this. There's no point getting the Scythe if you can afford the Harvester, because they're just overwrite.
Nice sword. You are as wild.
I'm going to get that since I use it quite a lot. The Whirlwind Slash is... not that. That. Hits all enemies around you, which is just what the Scythe does. A nice wide sweeping arc. Hits multiple times. Looks cool. Rule of cool always applies in this game. So, we get our first locked door up here. Oh, hello. So that's how powerful the guard counter can be. But as you've probably already noticed, we're getting a little bit more powerful against basic enemies, as long as there's not too many of them. Oh no, this isn't the place with the first key. That comes shortly. You can see the green glowing over there. That will be another Wrath Shard, which will give us our first life upgrade. There we go. So we've got an extra pip at the top. I think the achievement is for killing 6 things without touching the ground, something like that. As I said, I've already got almost all of the achievements in the game. Now, one of these bits I always mess up. And I can't remember whether it's this bit or when we come back to this bit later on. No, it's this bit. So we get to say hello to one of the guys from the intro cutscene. And yes, our escape route disappears. He's going to throw cars at us. Now this is going to probably be quite tricky. Because we've got no way of... Ow! Can't make it over there. Or can we? No, we can't. So we actually have to fight this guy. Here he is. Who takes off an entire... Ow, jeez, okay. Okay then. Oh wow, that takes us all the way back to the start of the... Don't know if enemies have guard break. Because again, I've never needed to know. It does save all the collectibles that you picked up. Right, let's try this again. You skipped the cutscene. No. Oh, you can. Oh, that still hit me. See if this actually helps. Oh, that just went over our heads. That too. Ah, you can guard counter him though. I did not know this. Oh, you can't block that though. Jeez. Off with his hands. But yeah, that guard counter added did an awful lot of damage, which is why that wasn't so bad. It's one of the reasons why I upgrade it so early as a general rule. Whoop. Okay, so we've got a chest here which is easily missable. And this is where our first encounter with Key is. There's that little yellow light that we saw from ages back. And here is our first locked door. The chest. Huh. Slice. Yeah, that's just down the stairs. Or you can jump down. Slicey, slicey. It is just timing. Alright, this is one of our item chests. And this should have the key in it. The Beholder's Key, an ornate key with the symbol of an eye engraved into it. Unlocks a nearby barrier. And by unlocks, it basically means poke it in the eye. Oops, not that way. Up here. Ew. But wait. There are angels. Because it's not just the demons that are out in force in the ruins of the mortal world.
It's nothing. Some demon trick. I know what I saw.
He's right.
Uriel.
Uriel is really blind.
It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it, Angel. From neither the White City nor the Black Depths. Something lies between.
That's us. Right. Now this bit, if you want to do the achievements, sucks. Fortunately, I've done the achievements, so I can just do this bit. This bit is much better with a mouse and keyboard. So, right trigger to shoot, press and hold right trigger to tag enemies for homing shots. And I'm just going to... It's so much easier to do this with a mouse and keyboard, but unfortunately the game can't switch between them automatically. Actually, I don't think it's this bit. I think it's the second time you get to do this. But yeah, it's a pain in the backside. Yeah, it's quite a nice break from the action, and there are several kind of mini game style things that do break up the action quite nicely. But yeah, the control stick aiming is leaves a lot to be desired. In fact, I'm gonna it's just overly sensitive. Ow. But yeah, I mean, it's so much easier on a on a mouse and keyboard for this. Shooty, shooty, shooty. Yeah, so you really want to get those locked onto and knocked down ASAP. And it's just not easy to do. Actually, maybe it is this section that you get the achievement for. It hurts your fingers a bit as well, if I'm honest. Oh no, I think actually it is this bit. This is the bit that it's easiest to rack up the kills with, because you've got all these tiny enemies to latch onto. It is a shame that you can't switch between mouse and keyboard. That's Tiamat there. Yeah, I mean this bit is entertaining. I like the idea behind it, but the implementation with the controllers lock-on system is just a bit meh. This was, I believe, the biggest criticised section in the game. As I say, it's not hard. It's only hard if you're going for the achievements. Got to shoot her in the face. Ow. Oh no, that's not Tiamat. Tiamat is an enemy like that, but that is not actually her. Some people would argue that the section goes on too long. And there's validity to that. I think we're almost done, actually. I think it's 150 enemies that you have to kill for the achievements. Ow. It'd be nice if there was a dodge move or a counter or something like that. There isn't. It's not as far as I know there isn't. Die, die, die. Man, I don't remember this section being this long. Ah, here we are. That, I think, is Tiamat. Yeah. And that crashed down outside there.
I assume? Guess she wasn't up for having visitors today.
No, no, she is not. So, this is the Twilight Cathedral, which is the first dungeon of sorts in the game. Very much like a Zelda dungeon. In almost every respect, really. There's an item that you get in the dungeon that helps you clear the dungeon and that you need to kill the boss. There are treasure chests, there's a map and a compass. Very, very much a Zelda style thing. You are as wise as you are powerful. So our XP for Chaos Eater is getting there. It's not there yet. What did that actually do? So some of these runic enhancements have a slotted bonus and a passive bonus. Passive drastically increases damage inflicted with environmental weapons. Slotted guarantees souls for destroying environmental objects by any means. Passive... Oops, no, I don't want to actually use it. The passive bonus means that you get it even if you're not actively using that weapon to kill things. The slotted bonus is if you're actually using that particular weapon. Something like that. It's not super duper clear, if I'm honest. Ow. You can die. You can also die. Another one of those big ice block things. And over there, you'll see some grapple points. We can't get to those yet either. And then there's this delightful volcano section, which is good times. Also a health chest over here, which I'm going to nab. As we make our way forwards, into the Twilight Cathedral, which is a really cool, I think, first dungeon, and introduces you to how a lot of the mechanics of the game are going to play out. The first thing that we are introduced to is this idea here of swords being keys. We pick it up and we carry it around with us. And then we put it where it needs to go, which in this case is there. It'll turn red when it's been used in the appropriate place. And you'll notice we can't pick it up again, so we can't just carry it around with us. But that will enable us to get into the cathedral proper. Well, these two are going to fight for a bit. So it uses little cutscenes like that to give us hints. So as you can see, doors marked red are locked. Oh, hello. And they've almost always got some kind of mechanism next to them to give you a hint. You'll also notice these things on the ceiling, which are bats, all wrapped up. They're not always very noticeable. Pow! Come on. Ow. I think the problem with the block counter is that actually it's often easier and more rewarding to just block and then spam. Ow. There's not that many enemies have actual aerial attacks. Okay, so so this door requires a key to get past, and that is handily marked on both our map and a mini-map. And the hint was that we need to break through this floor here. You'll also notice there's a big red crystal with a bomb on up there. Rooms that you haven't explored yet in dungeons show up on the map as you go, until you've got the mini-map, or the map item. Bomb growth. Grab and throw the sticky bomb onto objects and enemies before it detonates. Strike it. An instant explosion. What? So there is a reasonable amount of climbing to be done in this game. But generally speaking, the climb mechanics are absolutely fine. This is a dungeon chest. Generally, there is something in it like a rage crystal or a map or compass or something like that. It's not called compass in this, it's a horde seeker, which shows you chests hidden on the map. which is very useful indeed. And also, this should be our... yeah, there's the map. So it reveals the entire local map of the current area. Press... there we go. So you can use the right stick to control which level of the map you're looking at. There's a map legend there, which I don't think I've ever looked at because it was always fairly obvious. And use the left button to move the map around. It's going to crash through the floor. Meaning we can get further down into the depths. And over here, there's a door leading up, and there's also that, which we can't use yet. And we can't do anything about this thing either yet. So we need to go back through here and down this hole in the floor. Now, if I remember correctly, some enemies down here. Yes. The tells on those enemies actually aren't quite as clear as I think they could be. A lot of the enemies kind of do a little white glint. You see it? You'll also notice that these guys can actually block as well. So up above us, there is another soldier artifact. I almost went to try and do the wall run then, and then remembered that I'm not playing Darksiders 2. Through here, got some friends. That was not how I... Yeah, that's the other danger with trying to block counter people. It only blocks counters one. Right, another key. That will enable us to get through the door up above. We can't actually access the other bits and pieces in this room yet. There are other things that we need to do down here, but we can't get to them yet because we don't have the key item. Oops. From this dungeon. I'm not entirely sure why you are still alive. We shall fix that now. Right. Up and over we go. Sometimes it is just easier to lock the enemies into their stagger animations rather than trying to wait for their attacks and block them. In fact, it's almost always worth doing that. Which I think is probably one of the reasons why they didn't put the block counter thing into Darksiders 2. Which is a shame because I actually really like mechanics like that that reward skillful play. You know, God of War, the new one, the 2018 one, I thought did that really, really well. Obviously, it does it well in Dark Souls and Bloodborne as well, although I'm not very good at it in either of those two games. This room doesn't look suspicious at all. Oh, wait. New enemy! This is an ice skeleton. I don't know what they're actually called. Okay, that was a terrible start. Their attacks, apparently, can't be parried. Man, I am actually quite enjoying the challenge of this this higher difficulty. But it's, don't get me wrong, it's not like super hard. Really, it is just that I am so used to this game being a cakewalk. Where does that phrase come from anyway, a cakewalk? I have no idea. Yeah, if you're too close to the edge, you can't, it won't actually jump. I'm not entirely sure why that is. Probably an animation thing.
Over here! Over here!
If you get confused, the Watcher will offer you instant tips. I don't think he does it as much later in the game once you've got used to how the stuff works. But he certainly does it a fair bit towards the start. He's very much like Navi from Ocarina of Time. Hey, listen! Fortunately, he is he's not quite as irritating. Right, there's bits and pieces that we can't access in here yet. Unless... Oh. Unless you're good with your aim. Like that. Not that that was good with the aim, but it does give us access to another Lifestone Shard. And it is all about getting that extra health. Blow him up for a second. It doesn't actually kill him, it just sends him... just makes him retreat. Oh man. That's got some range on it. Oh, he's got a double slash with that, okay. You are invincible when you are in the death animations. They're not so bad once they've got their helmets off. He says, off you go. Yeah, definitely more challenging. Right, this here is our ultimate goal for the cathedral. This is where we want to be heading because that lets us up onto the roof to face off against Tiamat. And we'll do that. We'll do that. Possibly not next time, depending on how far we get through. There's quite a lot in this dungeon. Take maybe one, possibly 2 more episodes. We'll see how it goes. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. Remember to ring the bell to be notified when new videos go live. And until next time, toodle pip.